So who is ready for another video? I'm excited about this one because this client of mine I see about every 4 to 6 months, and she always comes. When she comes, it's always a project. She has tons of hair, and this time she's really wanting to just chop her length, and she wants to be bleach blonde with a blue peekaboo. Okay, so right here I'm showing you the consistency of the lightener. When you're doing a global lightening process, you want to always make sure that the consistency is a little bit looser than you would put inside a foil. Because we're not going to have to worry about bleeding or anything like that because we're doing a full-on application, roots to ends. So what I'm showing you right here is I'm not hitting her directly on her root. The reason why is she has previous color on her ends. We have done everything from coppers to reds to blonde on her. So on her end, she's going to have this reddish kind of golden tone. So in order for me to remove that, I have to stay away from the root, and I'm literally just applying it where her old color is. And this is how I'm going to be able to get rid of the bands. So as you see here, I'm still trying to avoid the root itself. I'm just going along the perimeter and I'm hitting about half an inch away from her root, and I'm dragging it down about a couple inches because eventually I'm going to move down that hair strand, but right now I'm focusing on just that band alone. And once I get down to the rest of the part of the head and get all the color on there, then I'm going to go back through and drag it through the root. But right now I'm just strictly focusing on this section of her head. As you can see, I'm just going through there and filling out just those band of spots, trying to avoid that root area as much as possible. Okay, so this has probably processed for about 15 minutes. So by the time it took me to apply started from the back, I worked my way to the right side of her head, and then I went to the left side of her head. And so now we're going to be pulling that lightener through her ends. And so that's what I'm doing right now. I'm taking vertical sectioning and I'm just matching the lightener to where I stopped. So I know she looks super crazy right now, but now we're going back through and we're going to be hitting her root. So now we're just going to make sure that she has a solid root application. So we're still using the same 20 volume. Of course, we've mixed up some more. And so we're doing the Brilliant Lightener 20 volume on her root right now. We're going to be going through there and just making sure that all her root is completely saturated. And any kind of spots that we see that need a little bit more application, this is the time to do it. And this is the time to go back through and reapply the ends if we need to. But we're just going through taking fine sectionings and making sure that root is done. Alright, so this is where I'm going to show you how I section out to do for the peekaboo. So she was not wanting to do something that's going to be like on top of her head. She splits her hair in the middle, so I made sure that we had her parting correct. And then I went in there and just made sure that I had enough hair on top, but enough hair on the bottom, so she pulled her hair back. But I'm doing a triangle right here. And then I'm going through and doing another triangle catty corner to that. So that way you can kind of see where I'm going to start with applying the blue application. And in this, I diluted our Ignite Blue. I added our Frost, which is like a conditioning treatment, and it kind of made it more like a pastel-y blue, so that way it wouldn't be so dark and so vibrant. And so what I'm doing is just taking clean, thin sectioning. Yes, I'm applying it wet. I did not dry her hair at all. I just air dried it with a towel. So now that we're done with the blue section and the blue peekaboo, I'm now applying a violet highlight and a natural highlight. And the reason why I'm bringing the natural into it, because I don't want her to get too violet. I don't want her to get too purple. I'm wanting a very clean platinum, but the natural is going to control that. Now, what Highlift is so great at is Highlift will give you that extra bump you need when you don't have that clean tan that you need to really get that platinum blonde. So I'm applying the Highlift from her roots to her ends, and we're going to process for a good 30 minutes.